Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Planet Tyro here on our Celebrate International Animation Day month here. I'm joined with my buddy, the KATFACE Killer. Thank you for joining me for this one, buddy.
Hey, what's up, what's up?
You know what, man? Last year, I didn't have you on for anything on this animation month. And this time, I think I've got you on for a very appropriate title. Guys, if you don't know what we're talking about, which you can probably see in the title, we're going to be talking about a movie that was recommended to us by one of our new subscribers, a follower, supporter. I'm going to put his name on the screen. His name is Sakoshi Kaze. He's got a YouTube channel as well. He does his own reviews. He recommended this to us because we knew we like animation, and he thought we'd want to throw a little bit of a curveball, something different, which is what we're trying to do here in Animation Month. And this movie is called Felidae. It was made in 1994. And this is a German animated movie that was made by the writer-director called Michael Szezak. Again, I'm sure I'm messing up his name, but this fellow has a reputation for making animated features. I'll put his IMDb credits down below. Basically, his whole filmography is making animated features with very weird subject matter. Apart from this movie, there's another movie that was somewhat praised and criticized where he was a stand-up comedy doing some weird racist German stuff, but maybe we'll get to that next year. This year we're going to speak about the aforementioned Felidae, and the plot of this movie is, well, it's about this cat, and this cat is moved with his owner to a new part of town. I think his owner's a writer, and when he moves to this new part of town, it seems like a very seedy part of town. This cat can talk. This is an animated movie where, you know, the animals are, what's the word, anthropomorphic? Is that the right term?
That's correct. That's where you give animals human-like characteristics or features.
Yeah, and the main plot of the story is that when the cat moves to this new town, there's all these murders going on. Stray cats are being killed all around the street, and this is a mystery kind of film noirish kind of setting with cats. It's very adult. I would honestly say there's a lot of adult themes in here, a lot of extreme adult imagery. Now, for a movie featuring cats, this is very against the norm, especially if we're talking about Western animation. So this was a weird one. So first of all, I want to thank
Wait, was it weird or bizarre?
We're not talking about JoJo, motherfucker.
God damn it.
What did you think of this movie overall? Because we're going to get into the bits and pieces, because you're a cat man. I had to have you on here because you're the KATFACE Killer. How could I do a review for an animated feature about cats without having the cat face on, without getting his opinion, how they depicted his fellow species? What did you think of this movie?
There's no recording anything that has to do with a cat if I'm not here. The end.
Word.
I thought this was really fucking weird. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I even messaged you while I was watching. I was like, what the fuck am I watching, homie? What the fuck is this? But I mean, like, my knee-jerk takeaways from this is I did like the animation. It was a throwback to, like, my childhood. That's how they used to, you know, animate cartoons and everything. But this was not a kid's cartoon. For sure, this was not a kid's cartoon. And, you know, like, from some of our other recordings, like Itchy the Killer, and I don't know, we do stuff that's kind of out there. I guess even Shamo's kind of out there. It's not the norm. So in that sense, it was interesting. It held my interest. I mean, I'm a cat, so I have like no attention span, but it was just like, the best way to put it is, it was nice to be watching my own kind, you know, a story of my own kind. But the problem is, like, watching it, I couldn't help but feel like, if these were people and not cats, I would probably be really bored.
I was going to say the exact same thing. The plot, as I said, it's a crime noir story about these cats getting murdered. The main character, I actually don't remember his name, but I'll put it on the screen. He's actually taken it upon himself to figure out the story. Now, one of the best parts I will say about this animated feature is that, although it's a German animated movie, this has been dubbed into English. And I will say the English voice cast they got on here is really, really good, and they fit the characters, and the way they all were cast for the role, it really does give that film noir feel. I don't know if I would say film noir, but I would say, because there's certain characters in here, like some of the female cats that seem to be femme fatales, and the drabness, the animation, the coloring. To me, it's like this guy wanted to make a a crime story with cats and make the character a Sherlock Holmes kind of character. But just like you said, if you make these characters human, you've seen this a million times before in the crime noir movies throughout the whole the 50s, the 60s. You've seen this before, but making it animated, make it with cats, I guess it's his claim to fame, and for that, I guess that's what makes it special. I don't really want. I know you. I agree with you. That's the thing. If I have a very big negative to say, overall, it's a predictable story. No matter how you cut it, it's predictable. But I was blown away by it just because I hadn't seen them do this kind of story with cats before. And the last time I saw a movie that featured cats that were anthropomorphized was probably Disney's The Aristocats.
Oh damn, that's a long time ago.
Honestly, if you had to tell me an all cat cast, primarily cats, that's the first thing that comes to mind. And they don't throw a lot of curveballs. This honestly is, I think the main thing that surprised me and the thing that impressed me was the animation, like you said. And actually, fun fact about the animation, at the time this was made, this was Germany's most expensive animated film to make in 1994. So it cost, I don't know how much the budget was, but it's on Wikipedia. Maybe it's wrong, but I liked, just like you said, I enjoyed the nostalgia factor. I thought the character designs were good for cats, and there's a lot of shocking imagery and a lot of violence with the gore. There's even a weird sex scene.
Dude, that was not weird. We were straight up watching porn, like animated porn.
Yeah, I don't know how to. I was gonna get into something because I know cat sex is really just from. No, I'm not gonna get into some crazy, weird shit. I'm about to say that, but I listened to a podcast where we're talking about how cats have sex. It's actually a painful procedure. This movie made it seem like a really good fucking time.
What the fuck? What podcast were you listening to?
It was called the Corey Coleman Spill.com podcast.
Are you serious? That fucking weirdo?
Yeah.
I thought they did like animated stuff in movies.
Yeah, nah, it's cat apparently, and because you asked for some context. Basically, we're just talking about when a cat's penis is very spiked or something, and it's very painful for female cats, and they scream whenever there's penetration, and they made a whole show about this. I know, guys, I'm going completely off topic, but just an FYI, cat sex is meant to be extremely painful for the female. That's why cats always scream when they're having sex. I had no idea. This is very educational for me. But in this movie,
that was the most pleasant sex I've ever seen between two cats. I mean, there's a reason why I hook up with human women. It's because they liked it like that. Not the cats, they don't like that. And I don't like hurting people when I'm having sex.
Man, again, I appreciate the recommendation. And one of the reasons why we do this month celebrating international animation, because we want to see what other people in different cultures do with their storytelling. And this is a perfect example of, you give a different region something, this is the kind of story they would tell. Disney would never do something like this. They would never use this kind of storytelling with these kind of creatures, because obviously, as we know, in the Western audiences, animation is associated with children. Basically, it's always for the most part, animations for children. Let's make them cute and cuddly. Let's soften them up and all that stuff. But in other regions, as in Japan and Germany and Europe, we can see that they're doing different stuff with it. But let me let you say some more about the movie, because I got one more thing to say. But I like the dub. I think the dub is actually one of the standout things about the movie.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like the big pluses of this animated feature were both the animation, if you have that kind of nostalgia towards that style of animation, as well as the voice acting. By the way, was Kong the really big guy? Was that Ian McShane?
Yeah, he sounded like him, but I don't know.
He definitely sounded like him, but I was trying to read the credits, but I think they were all the German voice actors.
Yeah. I don't think so.
No, it was good. I mean, like, if it was bad, I probably would have tuned out. That's like one of the things that I have a lot of trouble with. A lot of dubbing and stuff with animated and whatnot is, if the dubbing isn't good, so I'm being bombarded by bad voice acting the entire time, it's like it's hard for me to focus on the story. Whereas this one, like, it had good voice acting, but the story was like whatever, and that probably made it stand out even worse because of that. But I mean, I did enjoy it. I'm glad I watched it. I was guessing some, a bit through the beginning, but once it lays out all the cards on the tables, even before that, it's like, okay, it's pretty obvious this is the dude that's killing everybody and why he's doing it. But it was neat. It was different. I mean, would I watch something else? Somebody told me, hey, there's this animated movie featuring cats that are anthropomorphized, and there's a murderer doing weird science experiments. Would I ever watch that? Probably not based off of this, because I probably even think it's the same movie. But I mean, I'm glad that I saw something different. Instead of wasting my time with something. That's why I don't watch or read like a whole lot of anime or manga anymore, because it's all the same. It's all the fucking same story, all the same characters, all the same artwork, all the same voice acting. It's good to switch it up. Even if you're not crazy about what it is, it's good to get that breath of fresh air.
I recommend this movie, and I'll give my rating in a moment. My only problem, the main problem it's just that the villain is just so clear as day. He's introduced, I want to say pretty early, but it's like, okay, I was watching it like, if it's not this guy, it would really make me like the movie a lot more, but it is him. What I will say is this: I think if we're looking at the realm of animation, this is good just to show you that, you know what, different people are using animation to tell different types of stories, and this is expect the unexpected. This is something you wouldn't expect them to do, and in that regard, I think it holds up. Again, it's 1994, 2016. We're talking about it. I think it ages fairly well, considering how old it is and how the dub is and all that. I would say it holds up. As a rating, I would give it a low solid B, because I think that it's aged pretty well. The voice cast was done in English. Don't know about German. The English voice cast was done really well. It looks good overall, and it stands out. If you know what, let me put this in even a better context. If I watched this in 1994, I probably would have had my mind blown.
Yeah.
For the time this movie was made, it probably was more, I don't want to say revolutionary, but more stand out. Now it's more like, oh, that was weird. So I mean, we're talking about this in the guise of us watching so much anime, and we're still talking about how kind of surprised you are. So just imagine watching this when you're 11 years old, or 10, or 8. I mean,
dude, if I watched this back then, I'd probably keep replaying the sex scene.
Yeah, so I'll give it a low solid B, like I said again.
I'm gonna have to say I'm gonna give it an acquired taste. I mean, for me, I would recommend it to people who are either like really into like 90s cartoon animated stuff and be like, oh, well, this is something that I wouldn't necessarily pushes the boundaries, but it certainly tests the water and where you can go with animated cartoons and stuff for a mature audience. Like if I did this in the 90s, like you said, I'd probably be pretty high on it, but we live in the now. Like if I recommended this to kids that weren't even born then, they're gonna be like, well, it was different, but I don't really understand why that asshole recommended this to me. It wasn't anything amazing. Yeah. So you either really like that type of animation and you're a student of it, and that's how you'll enjoy it, or you just, I don't know, you either really like cartoons or you like film noir. That would be my target demographic for this, and why I would give it an acquired taste. This isn't something I could just give to anybody, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, okay, yeah." They'll probably be like, "Okay, that was weird." You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what's funny? I think me and you gave it a really good rating. If I would kind of combine, I gave it a solid B for quality, but it is an acquired taste. It's not for everybody, and again, you kind of should be mindful of who you do give this to. But, this is a fine recommendation. This is exactly the kind of thing I wanted to talk about this month. So again, I want to give the subscriber, the commenter, thanks for showing this to us. So we appreciate it. And if you've seen the movie, well, you know what? Actually, I'm not trying to promote piracy, but this is on YouTube for free. You can watch the whole thing on YouTube. And again, I think it's because the German license the distribution, they're very lax. I don't think it was picked up by Sony or any big company. So that's why it's still on YouTube. I'll put it in the comments. You can check it out. Just check it out if you don't like it. So we're not promoting piracy, but honestly, I don't think any copyright holder is going to be prosecuting you for watching this. I just doubt it.
Look, the best way I could put it is if it's on YouTube, you're not pirating it at the end.
Yeah. Well, I just said this the disclaimer that we're not promoting pirates, even though I'm putting it down below. But anyway, that's YouTube job, not mine. Anyway, guys, that's it. This was meant to be a short one. We're on 15 minutes. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you've seen the movie, if you haven't, check it out and then come back and let us know what you think down below. And I had to have the killer on. I had to have the cat face on for this one, and I'm glad we shot the hairs on our little kitten on this little movie here.
I'd rather have my life back. I fucking hate you.
You lost a life, huh? You got 8 more, so you're good. Don't worry.
Don't I have like 1 left?
All right, whatever. Anyway, guys, hit the annotation on the right there if you want to see all the other stuff we do. Thank you for joining us on this month. And until the next one, we'll say see you later.
See ya. Wait, who was that again? Satoshi-kun?
Yeah, I think that's close to what he's called.
Well, sorry if I'm saying the wrong name, but thanks for the recommendation, Satoshi-kun.